Well, it was very important to me that the music was based on actual facts and that the music was as honest as possible and that the music portrayed how it felt to actually be there and not, that it didn't dramatize anything or I didn't want to storm in with thriller drums because it's like a real story and so many people that are still alive today really can, remember it or, lost family members or are suffering some physical ailments because of it so I wanted the music to be based on real sounds and real atmospheres. So I went to the power plant where the series is filmed, which is identical to the Chernobyl power plant. So I went there to record the power plant and I turned those sounds that I captured there into the music. So I turned the power plant into a musical instrument, so to say. Well, I mean, for me it was the element that's kind of hard to capture in film was the radioactivity and the presence of the space and the threatening feeling of the radioactivity which you can't see with your own eyes. So it felt like the music needed to be that part. So it felt like to me like radioactivity is very silent and it's invisible, but it's like this. The presence is very strong and heavy and so I wanted the music to represent that and to be like, almost like weighing you down more than kind of, getting you excited. I think it was probably the first episode because it took a while to kind of really find the tempo and find the feel and because we all felt like it was such an important story and we needed to make sure that we were telling it the right way. So yeah, it took a lot of back and forth for quite a few months to find exactly the right tempo and the mood for the first episode, and after that it went a bit smoother. Yeah, I think the biggest difference is like the time frame that you have with the work itself, because series, of course, they take place in over a much longer time, so you have a bit longer to kind of stretch the music out, and the music has a bit longer to kind of evolve, and you have a bit longer to kind of plant the seeds of the sounds and the themes in series, I think. And you can kind of take time to stretch it out a little bit more because you don't have to tell the story as fast. You can kind of draw things out a little bit, which I find interesting. It's a little bit, time-wise, it's a little bit more in the direction of, how long you spend with the characters when you're watching a series. It's almost like, similar to when you're reading a book. You might spend 10 hours reading a book and you spend 10 hours watching a series, perhaps, and so you have because of the time you spend with the characters, you kind of form a stronger bond with them. I think it's quite interesting. When you work on music and films or TV, it's important to not be led by your own ego and to serve the story and to serve the project. So, the better everything fits together in the project, the better it is, and therefore, you can be a better servant. And I think that's, for me, it's always way more important than my own ego of how much space I can take. It's just, I'm not interested in that really.